You see it everywhere online. Do this one thing and get rich. But is that how wealth is really built? Is it just one magic habit, or is there something more to it? I've always been skeptical of the get-rich-quick promises. True wealth seems to be built on something more substantial, something more disciplined. So, I decided to put it to the test. For 30 days, I immersed myself in the habits and rituals of the world's most successful people. This wasn't about chasing fast money. This was an experiment to understand the mindset that creates lasting wealth, which I define not just by money, but by freedom, clarity, and the ability to design your own life. Join me as I break down what I learned, week by week. The first week was all about shifting my perspective from short-term gains to long-term vision. The 1% don't just think about next month, they think about the next decade. The core ritual I adopted was what I call 30-minute thinking. Every single morning, before checking my phone or diving into work, I dedicated 30 minutes to pure, uninterrupted thought. I would sit with a pen and a notebook and ask myself big-picture questions. Where do I want to be in 5 years? What skills do I need to get there? What obstacles might I face and how can I prepare for them now? This wasn't about finding immediate answers, but about training my brain to operate on a longer time horizon. I also started studying mental models, like second-order thinking. Before making a decision, I wouldn't just consider the immediate consequence. I'd ask, and then what? What are the ripple effects of this choice 1 month from now? 1 year from now? This simple practice prevented me from making several impulsive decisions and forced a more strategic approach to my work and life. It felt like I was moving from playing checkers to playing chess. Week 2 was a complete paradigm shift in how I viewed networking. It's not about collecting contacts. It's about cultivating genuine relationships. My first step was a relationship audit. I looked at my professional circle and asked a tough question. Are these relationships reciprocal? Are they based on mutual growth and support? I identified key people I admired and wanted to learn from. Then, instead of asking for something, I focused entirely on providing value first. I read their articles and sent thoughtful comments. If they mentioned a problem they were facing, I'd spend time researching potential solutions and send them a brief, no-strings-attached email. For example, I noticed a mentor was trying to improve their podcast's sound quality. I spent an evening researching cost-effective microphones and sent them a short list with pros and cons. I didn't ask for a meeting or a favor. The goal was to build trust and demonstrate my own value without any expectation of return. Over time, this approach completely changed the dynamic. Conversations started happening naturally. Instead of feeling like I was taking, I felt like I was contributing to a community. This is strategic generosity, and it's a powerful, long-term way to build a network that truly supports you. Week 3 was where the discipline really kicked in. It was all about financial management. The wealthy aren't just good at making money, they are masters at managing it. My first ritual was the weekly financial review. Every Sunday, I spent an hour meticulously going through my income, expenses, and investments. I wasn't just tracking numbers, I was analyzing patterns. Where was I spending mindlessly? Where could I optimize? This clarity was empowering. It replaced financial anxiety with a sense of control. The second, and perhaps most crucial, step was setting up an automated asset allocation system. Based on my financial goals, I created a simple rule. Every time I got paid, a specific percentage was automatically transferred into different accounts. A portion went to my investment portfolio, another to a high-yield savings account for emergencies, and another to a growth fund for courses and skills development. This pay-yourself-first method, when automated, is incredibly powerful. It removes emotion and willpower from the equation. You're building wealth in the background without having to think about it. It became clear that financial freedom isn't about one big windfall. It's about building a disciplined, automated system that works for you 24/7. As I entered the final week, something interesting began to happen. The rituals from the previous weeks started to interconnect and reinforce one another. My 30-minute thinking sessions weren't just abstract anymore. They were informed by my financial reviews and my relationship-building efforts. For example, my long-term goal to start a new project was now backed by a financial plan to fund it and a network of people I could turn to for advice. The habits weren't isolated tasks on a to-do list. They were becoming a unified system, an operating system for my life. The most profound change was an internal one, a heightened sense of agency. I felt less like a passenger reacting to circumstances and more like the driver, intentionally steering my life in the direction I wanted. Waking up and thinking long-term gave me a clear destination. Building relationships based on value gave me the support for the journey. And managing my finances gave me the fuel to make it happen. This integration is the real secret. It's not about doing one thing. It's about how these habits work together to create momentum. The feeling of control and clarity that emerged was a form of wealth in itself. So, after 30 days, did I become part of the 1%? Of course not. That was never the point. This journey was about something far more valuable. It taught me that wealth isn't a dollar amount. It's a state of being. It's the freedom to choose your path, the clarity to know what that path is, and the discipline to walk it every day. The rituals of the wealthy aren't magic spells. They are practical, repeatable systems for long-term growth. They build not just financial capital, but intellectual and social capital as well. My biggest takeaway is this: you don't need to be rich to start acting like it. You can start building these systems today. You can start thinking long-term, providing value, and managing your resources with intention. The true return on this investment isn't just a bigger bank account down the line. It's a richer, more intentional life right now. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what is one small ritual you can start today to build your own version of wealth? Thanks for watching. If this video gave you a new perspective, consider subscribing for more content on building a life of intention and purpose.